Imagine a world where the US dollar is no longer the ultimate currency of global trade, where countries can do business without relying on American financial networks. Just this week, at the BRICS 2024 summit, Russia introduced a bold proposal that could make this vision a reality: a unified depository and clearing system for BRICS nations. In simple terms, this system would allow Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa to trade directly without using Western financial intermediaries like SWIFT or the IMF. This move could be a game-changer, shifting global financial power and loosening the grip of Western influence. So why now? The BRICS countries are fed up with the control that Western financial systems have over global trade. Russia, for example, has faced tough sanctions that blocked it from Western markets, and Iran, another BRICS partner, faces similar struggles. For these nations, creating an independent system means freedom from sanctions, financial independence, and the ability to conduct business on their own terms. And it's not just about politics. This new system, built on cutting-edge distributed ledger technology, promises to make transactions cheaper, faster, and more secure. It could even pave the way for other countries to join and reduce their reliance on the US dollar in trade. If successful, this could be a turning point, challenging the dollar's dominance in global finance. Curious to know more? Let's dive into what this system means for BRICS, why it's getting so much attention, and how it could reshape the global economy as we know it. But before we dive in, do yourself a favor, go ahead and like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the latest updates. We're here to keep you in the loop on global events, major financial moves, and everything impacting the world economy, so stay connected. As the BRICS 2024 summit wraps up, there's a palpable sense of excitement. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the 5 countries that make up BRICS, have just concluded days of intense discussion and planning. Among the various agreements reached, one proposal stands out for its potential to reshape the financial world. This proposal is all about creating a unified depository and clearing system specifically for BRICS countries. It might sound technical at first, but the implications are monumental. BRICS nations are looking to establish a financial system that's independent of traditional Western networks, allowing them to conduct trade and investments directly among themselves. In other words, it's about building a new way to connect financially, a new highway where they can move money without needing permission from Western systems or paying tolls to them. This move could represent a game-changer in how global trade and finance work, signaling a shift in the balance of power. For years, the BRICS countries have been talking about reducing their reliance on Western-dominated financial systems, especially given the increasing geopolitical tensions and sanctions placed on certain countries within BRICS. But now, they're not just talking, they're setting things in motion. But why does this idea matter so much? And why is BRICS pushing for this now? To understand that, let's break it down piece by piece, starting with the underlying reasons that have driven BRICS to seek financial independence. One of the biggest reasons BRICS is exploring a financial system of its own is simple: Western sanctions and rising political tensions. In recent years, the United States and the European Union have been using sanctions as a powerful tool in their foreign policy toolbox. If they disapprove of a country's actions or consider it a threat, they can impose restrictions that limit that country's access to international markets and financial systems. Russia is a prime example of this. Let's rewind a bit. Back in 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, which led to major backlash from Western countries. The US and EU imposed a range of economic sanctions on Russia, targeting its economy and limiting its access to financial systems. Then, in 2022, the situation took an even more drastic turn when Russia's conflict with Ukraine escalated into a full-blown war. This time, Western powers responded even more aggressively. Russia was cut off from SWIFT, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, which is essentially the world's financial messaging network, a system that banks use to conduct cross-border transactions. Now imagine a country like Russia, one of the largest economies in the world, suddenly unable to access SWIFT. Overnight, this makes it extremely difficult for Russian businesses to trade internationally, access global markets, or manage their finances outside of Russia. To make matters worse, Western nations also froze Russian assets held in international depositories, like Euroclear, which blocked Russia from accessing a large chunk of its money held overseas. This situation left Russia with a huge problem. It needed to find alternative ways to conduct international transactions and secure its financial position without relying on Western-controlled systems. But Russia isn't alone in facing such challenges. Iran, another BRICS member, has been under stringent Western sanctions for years, struggling with similar issues. Iran, too, has found itself cut off from Western financial systems, limiting its ability to trade and engage with the global economy. For these nations, the idea of a BRICS-exclusive financial system represents a critical lifeline. Imagine if Russia, Iran, and other BRICS countries could trade directly with each other, moving funds without having to go through Western networks or worry about sanctions. This would fundamentally shift the balance of financial power, giving BRICS countries the ability to operate independently of Western influence. In other words, it's about reclaiming control. Beyond sanctions, there's a broader motivation driving the BRICS financial proposal: the desire for financial sovereignty. For years, BRICS countries have been expressing frustration with the current global financial structure, which is heavily influenced by Western powers and institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. While these institutions provide critical support to global finance, they're often seen as tools that reflect Western interests rather than the needs of emerging economies. Consider this: when a country relies on systems and institutions that are controlled by external powers, it's at the mercy of those powers. For BRICS nations, especially China and Russia, the goal is to create a financial infrastructure that they control, a system that aligns with their unique economic needs and political interests. China, for instance, has already taken substantial steps in this direction. In recent years, it developed the Cross-Border Interbank Payment System, CIPS, which is essentially a Chinese version of SWIFT. CIPS allows China to conduct international transactions using its currency, the yuan, without relying on Western systems. It's a bold move that reflects China's commitment to asserting financial independence. The broader BRICS agenda aligns with this goal of building financial sovereignty. By creating their own payment systems and depository networks, BRICS countries are actively working towards a future where they don't have to rely on the US dollar or any Western-led system to conduct business. They're pushing to create an ecosystem where they can make their own financial decisions and manage their economies without outside interference. Another core reason behind this proposal is the economic growth of BRICS countries and their desire to boost trade within the group. Together, BRICS represents over 40% of the global population and accounts for nearly a quarter of the world's GDP. That's huge. These countries are economic powerhouses, and they're growing fast. However, despite their size, they still face challenges when trading among themselves. Here's a common issue. When a BRICS country wants to trade with another BRICS country, they often end up using the US dollar as the intermediary currency. For example, if Brazil wants to buy goods from India, the Brazilian company might have to convert Brazilian reals into US dollars first, and then the dollars are converted into Indian rupees. Not only does this create extra steps, but it also leads to additional costs due to exchange fees. These fees don't just take a small bite, they can significantly cut into the profits and make trade less efficient. The proposed BRICS clearing and depository system could eliminate this need for dollar conversion. Imagine a financial network designed exclusively for BRICS countries, where they can conduct trade using their own currencies directly with one another. By reducing the reliance on the dollar and removing Western intermediaries, BRICS nations can streamline their transactions and make intragroup trade faster, cheaper, and more efficient. With this system, BRICS countries could also expand investment opportunities, making it easier for businesses in Brazil, for instance, to invest in South African projects without needing Western banks or clearinghouses. It's a vision of a BRICS-exclusive economy where resources flow freely and economic cooperation becomes a straightforward, cost-effective endeavor. The global political landscape is evolving. For a long time, the world was considered largely unipolar, dominated by Western nations, especially the United States. But things are changing. With the rise of countries like China and India, the world is becoming more multipolar, meaning power is increasingly distributed among multiple global and regional players. For BRICS, this shift presents an opportunity to challenge the US-led international order. These nations want to be seen as equal players on the world stage, not just as emerging markets that follow Western rules. They're pushing for a world where they have a say in how things are run, especially when it comes to finance and global governance. The creation of a BRICS-exclusive financial system fits perfectly into this vision of a multipolar world. It's about building an infrastructure that reflects the interests and needs of non-Western countries. For example, BRICS has been calling for reforms in international institutions like the United Nations and the IMF, arguing that these organizations should better represent emerging economies. With their own financial network, BRICS countries can make these changes a reality, creating a financial system that doesn't revolve around Western influence. One of the most exciting aspects of the BRICS financial proposal is its potential use of cutting-edge technology, specifically blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT. While these might sound like buzzwords, they represent a powerful shift in how transactions are conducted and recorded. So, what is DLT? In a traditional financial system, a single entity, like a bank or clearinghouse, controls the ledger, a record of all transactions. But with DLT, the ledger is decentralized. This means that instead of one organization keeping track of all the transactions, every participant in the network has a copy of the ledger. Anytime a transaction occurs, it's recorded across the entire network, creating a highly secure and transparent system. Russia has proposed using DLT as the backbone for the BRICS depository and clearing system. By leveraging this technology, BRICS could create a financial system that is both secure and resistant to external interference. Because DLT operates in a decentralized way, it's much harder for any one country or organization to manipulate or disrupt the system. This feature is especially appealing to BRICS countries, which are wary of being subject to Western sanctions or control. Additionally, DLT brings another exciting feature: smart contracts. These are essentially self-executing contracts where the terms are written directly into the code. Once certain conditions are met, the contract automatically completes the transaction. In the BRICS system, smart contracts could simplify a range of transactions, from trade agreements to cross-border payments, making it easier to conduct business without delays or third-party approval. The push for a BRICS financial system is part of a larger trend known as South-South cooperation. This refers to a growing movement where developing nations, especially those in the global South, seek to strengthen ties with each other rather than relying solely on traditional Western partnerships. BRICS has become a cornerstone of this movement. By creating their own financial networks, BRICS countries can facilitate easier and more secure trade with other developing nations, enhancing their collective bargaining power on the global stage. This isn't just about building an economy, it's also a political statement. Through platforms like BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and the Belt and Road Initiative, these countries are positioning themselves as leaders of the global South. They're creating a new financial order that reflects the needs and values of developing economies. The creation of a BRICS financial clearing system could be a major milestone for South-South cooperation. It's a practical application of the principles of mutual support and solidarity, empowering BRICS and other developing countries to collaborate without Western interference. One of the most ambitious goals for BRICS is to reduce their reliance on the US dollar in international trade. Right now, the dollar is the world's primary reserve currency, used widely for global transactions. This dominance gives the United States enormous leverage, allowing it to influence international finance and impose sanctions with significant impact. For BRICS countries, the dollar's dominance poses a strategic challenge. By promoting the use of their national currencies in trade and creating an independent financial infrastructure, BRICS aims to erode the dollar's grip on global finance. This isn't about isolating themselves from the dollar entirely. It's about creating an environment where the dollar isn't the only option. Over time, this could weaken the dollar's status as the world's default currency, opening up space for a more diversified and balanced financial landscape. Russia has introduced the concept of BRICS Clear, a financial clearing system designed to operate as an alternative to Euroclear and Clearstream, facilitating cross-border transactions of securities within the BRICS network. If successful, this system could mark a significant shift, allowing BRICS countries to strengthen financial ties and support each other's growth without relying on Western financial infrastructure. Of course, there are hurdles to overcome. Technical, regulatory, and legal issues are real challenges that BRICS must address to make this vision a reality. Each BRICS country has its own financial regulations and standards, and aligning them won't be simple. But the potential benefits are worth the effort. Experts estimate that even a partial integration could boost trade between BRICS nations by 5 to 7%, highlighting the significant economic impact this system could have. Looking ahead, BRICS Clear could inspire similar initiatives around the world, further advancing the vision of a multipolar global order where financial power is shared, not concentrated in a single currency or system. As the dust settles on the BRICS 2024 summit, it's clear that these nations are not only ready to challenge the status quo, but also to reshape the financial world. The proposed financial clearing and depository system is just the beginning of what could be a transformative era in global finance. If successful, BRICS will have taken a massive step toward establishing a financial network that reflects the interests of emerging economies, building a future where financial independence and multipolarity are the new norms. The road ahead will undoubtedly be challenging, but BRICS has set its sights on a high-stakes goal. This initiative could pave the way for a more balanced, equitable global financial landscape, one that respects the diversity and sovereignty of all nations, not just those with the greatest economic clout. The BRICS 2024 summit has brought forth a bold vision that could reshape global finance as we know it. With the proposal for a BRICS-exclusive depository and clearing system, these nations are taking steps to free themselves from Western financial influence, challenging the dominance of the US dollar and long-standing international institutions. It's a move that speaks to the rising desire among emerging economies for financial sovereignty and a more balanced global economic order. As BRICS embarks on this path, they're setting the foundation for a multipolar world where power is more evenly shared and every nation has a voice. Though challenges remain, the potential impact of this system could be profound, not just for BRICS members, but for countries around the globe looking to reduce their reliance on Western-dominated networks. If successful, BRICS will have created a financial highway that bypasses the tolls of traditional systems, unlocking new pathways for cooperation, growth, and independence. The journey is only beginning, but one thing is clear. The world will be watching closely as BRICS pioneers a new chapter in the global financial landscape. Let us know your thoughts. Can BRICS successfully challenge the dollar's dominance? And what impact could this have on the global economy? Share your comments down below, and if you made it to the end, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on global finance, geopolitics, and more. If you enjoyed the content, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Either way, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.